Hey everybody, welcome back to Wing Wednesdays with MACkiteboarding.com. I'm Tucker, and today we're going to talk to you about the new Ozone Wasp V2. Now I know everybody's been anxiously awaiting this wing. The Wasp V1 was a massive hit last year, one of our most popular wings for sure. And the V2 definitely doesn't disappoint. So we'll go over some of the changes, some of the key features in the V2, and then give you a quick review on it, how I felt on it so far, riding it after about a month now. So give you all that pertinent information. We do have some in stock at the shop currently, and we have more arriving you know, every few weeks to a month. So we should have some pretty good stock of these this year, but you never know. This is going to be a really hot wing, so my guess would be these things are going to have some shortages this year. But yeah, jump on it if you want one, and we'll get you one as soon as we can. So as I said, we've got the Ozone V2 Wasp here. The V1 was a massive hit just for its huge range of versatility. Very easy to use wing, you know, real do-it-all kind of a wing. You can surf it, jump it, free ride, light wind. The Wasp has done it all in the V1, and the V2 just takes that to the next level. They've really just refined the design, made it that much better, taken the performance to the next level now that we have people progressing out of that beginner stage. And really this wing continues to be a winner for versatility. As you can tell, the canopy colors and layout are different. Got some really sharp looking graphics here. We've got some additional windows for visibility. So really good looking wing overall. For the V2, they've moved to a 3x3 ripstop, if you guys can see that. Really, really strong canopy. It's gonna resist stretching, and if you do manage to get a tear in it, it's going to stop shorter than at a 1x1 or a 2x2 ripstop. So this is the canopy that won't get shredded as easily, won't run off and tear in half as easily as others. And I've really been excited about that. It really holds its shape well in the sky, doesn't deform or stretch funny. Additionally, you can see here, I think, in the sunlight, the Dacron they're using in this wing is updated and upgraded. It's also kind of a 3x3 strand. If you can see the pattern there, really looks beautiful, but I'm sure it's stronger and stiffer as well. That's what they tell me. I'm not a materials expert, but I can tell you it works out on the water really well. Might as well talk about these windows since we've got them right here in front of us before we move to the other side. They're a little sandy right now, but you can see my truck on the other side here. These windows are placed really close to the boom. So if you're riding in a powered position with the wing straight in front of you, you can see a pretty good view of things straight downwind of you, maybe even a little bit upwind or just a tiny bit behind you. I shouldn't say upwind. You can see straight downwind, a little bit in front of you or a little bit behind where you're traveling through these windows. You know, ideally I would have liked to see them more forward where you can kind of see where you'd be headed in a path. But fairly useful windows, especially if you're riding with other people. You're kind of looking at them downwind and wonder what they're up to, where your wing would normally be in the way. You can see your buddies down there and spot what's going on down there, see if, you know, there's a buoy or something down that way, or a group of surfers, and you can see them kind of straight downwind. Not necessarily in a direction where you're traveling, but you can see what's going on downwind of you without having to move the wing. So not a substitute for a proper lower the wing, raise the wing, and get a full picture, but it does allow you to see something through the wing, and in a proper powered riding position, they're in a pretty usable spot, so that's pretty cool. The wing material, or the window material, is a softer type of material that a lot of people are using for 2021. It's not as brittle, especially in the cold. you know, or if you're folding it a little bit, it's not just going to crack and run off. They tell me it resists elongation better, so it's going to wear at a more normal rate in relation to the Canopy. Now, I haven't had enough, you know, time on the water with any of these to really bag them out a lot and test that, but that's what they tell me, so we'll trust them. And it can't be any worse than the older windows that would, you know, crack and bag out, you know, 2 years down the road. So that's a cool improvement. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the front end of the wing here. Flip her over and take a look at some of the other stuff that's going on. A little bit of wind here today. All right, she's secure there. All right, like a lot of times we do, I'll start at the top of the wing here up in the front, and we'll kind of just work our way through what's going on with this wing, some changes or improvements, and give you that info. Up top here, we have a new luffing line here, your front handle, leading edge handle. Very thin but wide. This is a real useful handle. It's easy to grab, even with gloves on, or if you have big hands, you're gonna be able to grab that no problem. When it's luffing, when you're surfing, as you can tell, there's plenty of room there. You're not scuffing your knuckles on the Dacron. Got our leash line here. It's got a bit of a swivel. The leash is included with the wing, and it's the bungee style, kind of rope style leash. Nice and thick, easy to grab onto, pulling it to yourself, especially in the waves. And right now I have it set up without an end on it because I've been attaching it to my harness because I ride a harness line, and it's really cold, so I don't want a wrist leash on, putting more bulk in my wrists. So I just attach this straight to my harness right up front, and it's an excellent length for that. Hasn't been in my way. It is included as well with a waist leash, and that's where you attach this. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one in any kind of big wave situations or really, really high winds. You know, it's held together by this plastic buckle. So my guess would be is it's fine, but in any kind of real serious stress, this buckle is gonna break. So better to not trust it. Hook it to a harness, hook it to a really solid, you know, wrist leash, ideally, that's not held together by a plastic buckle. That's just my 2 cents, and that's what's included with it. But Ozone is making a wrist leash cuff as well. It's a real nice wrist leash cuff. You just attach it straight to the end of this leash line. You don't need to spend a bunch of extra money to buy another leash line because you've already got it. So just buy the cuff only, connect it to this, and you'll be all set to hook up to your wrist if you want to do it that way. As with all of our videos, go ahead and give your comments in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you've ridden the V1, what you thought of that. If you've ridden the V2, what you thought of that. If you have any questions for us or comments, please put those down there. We'll get a little discussion started. Once again, this has been Tucker with MACkiteboarding.com, and we'll see you next time on Wing Wednesdays.